Hi, this is
This is
Channing
Channing
Hump
Hump
with
with
Semi
Semi
Pro
Pro
Live.
Live.
We are
We are
here with
here
the
with the
Rod
Rod
Tanner
Tanner
Report,
Report,
episode
episode
3, and
3,
we
and we
have
have
some
some
big
big
news,
news,
some
some
big
big
guests,
guests,
and
and
some
some
big
big
things on
things
the
on the
horizon
horizon
for
for
AAU in
AAU in
general
general
and
and
for
for
some
some
local
local
things
things
for
for
the
the
Southern
Southern
Texas
Texas
District.
District.
So,
So,
without
without
further
further
ado,
ado,
the
the
namesake of
namesake
the
of the
show.
show, Mr. Tanner.
So good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Tanner Report on Semi Pro Live. Excited to be back with another episode. A lot going on in the AAU locally and nationally. So going to jump into a few things in regards to the, we'll say, local area of the South Texas District. The South Texas District getting geared up for the month of May related to football in the skills camp that we'll host with Jalen Jones from Texas A&M, as well as the 7-on-7 championships we're going to host. And that's going to be May 14th and 15th in Killeen, Texas at the Lions Field, and excited about that event. Also, May brings us the district AAU basketball championships in the South Texas district where I reside as governor. That's May 6th through the 8th, and that'll be at Cornerstone High School. So excited about the district basketball championships. That's going to support grades 3 through 9. You can go to the AAU National website for more registration information. That is aausports.org. You can click on basketball and you'll find events. Also, if you go to Cornerstone Youth Sports website, you can get more information regarding that.
All right, Rod. All right. Well, so out of those events, man, so tell us how long and a little bit about the history of AAU 7-on-7. Our fans are used to seeing us do 7-on-7 all over the country. We want to talk a little bit more about the unique AAU brand.
So AAU 7-on-7 technically is really in development. There's been a few events across the United States. There's a lot of 7-on-7 that's played, and we are excited about continuing to grow the brand of AAU. AAU has over 38 sports contested on a national level, and from the 7-on-7 perspective, there's been a request from a lot of our programs that already participate in AAU football to have more 7-on-7, but in an AAU format. So we're excited about that and continue to grow the AAU footprint. So the other thing that's exciting is, and Shannon, we lost you there. We lost your audio there, Channing. So excited about where we're going with 7-on-7 when it comes to AAU. Also, our big announcements around track and field for the South Texas District. We're going to be in Killeen on June 17th and 18th for the North qualifier, and then we're in Seguin on the 24th and 25th for the South qualifier, and then we wrap it all up the week of June 29th through July 2nd for the regional qualifier that takes the kids to their last leg to get them to the National Junior Olympics in North Carolina A&T. So a lot going on in the South Texas district, but much more nationally.
All right, man. All right. So outside of that, what other big news is on the horizon as far as the AAU universe outside of the South Texas District?
So we have AAU National Baseball picking up their qualifications for the AAU World Series. Believe they're going to hold that again in the Louisiana area. So more information to come on that. Diving, we're still looking to see if we're going to have the actual JO diving was slated to be hosted in San Antonio. I'm hoping that it is hosted in San Antonio because the facility for JOs, if they do the diving in San Antonio, is 5 minutes from my house. So I'm excited if they do it here. So definitely looking forward to that.
Most definitely, man. Most definitely. Now, so as far as the AAU baseball, I'd like to just go a little bit further into that, man. So tell us about the AAU baseball presence here in Texas.
So, AAU baseball is in development in Texas. Across Texas, they're still developing it. It's really big in the eastern part of the United States. So we're working to try to do more in this area. We have a little bit of softball being played, but AAU baseball is in its infancy when it comes to Texas. So a lot of room for growth there.
All right, man. So okay, so sorry about that, folks. We're doing a little bit of tap dancing. We have our guest of the hour, the star of the show. I'm gonna let Rod go ahead and introduce our awesome guest for this show.
All right. So first, I'd like to introduce the young man that we have actually been pleasure to have around AAU for quite a long time. And technically, I think, it's safe to say he grew up in AAU through the South Texas District and now is residing at Texas A&M University, and excited to have him on board of the Tanner Report, Mr. Jalen Jones. How you doing, Jalen?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. How y'all doing?
All right, all right. And then I also have some other special guests that I want to bring on, and we're going to talk a little bit to them before we jump into it with Jalen. But Alicia Jones, who is Jalen's mom, and Ruby Sanchez. So the reason why we have them on is there's some important things that are going to happen with the Jalen Jones or the J17 Skills Camp in Killeen on May 14th. We're going to have a breakout session and talk a little bit about development and from the parent perspective. And I'm going to let Alicia give a little bit of her background, and also Ruby give a little bit of your background. And just from a high level, what we're going to be covering with the parent breakout session at the camp. So Alicia, first you give us a little bit of your background. We know you're the proud mother of Jalen.
I am the proud mother of Jalen Jones, but I am a Navy veteran, and I work for the Army now. I've been working for the Army a little over 15 years. So the community in Killeen, I'm looking forward to it. And because we were a transit family, I think Jalen and my older son, Kendall, we hit about 4 different school districts. And so we understand what's needed for parents, as far as transcripts, as far as getting all the information they need for a prospective student athlete. So I'm very happy to join Ms. Sanchez in that endeavor. And I'll let Ms. Ruby introduce herself.
Hi there, I'm Ruby Sanchez. I'm a lead counselor over at Steele High School, and I had the pleasure of having Jalen. So I am the proud counselor to Jalen Jones. He and I worked very closely. I've been in education now 25 years. 18 of those have been as a school counselor, and I've worked with NCAA quite a bit. It's been a huge pleasure meeting student athletes just like Jalen and having the support of the family as well through this whole process.
That is awesome. And I'm looking forward to the camp. So one of the things for those viewers, so we're going to have a breakout session at the J17 camp, and that's going to be free to parents to come and spend about an hour getting some very good information in regards to prepping, and potentially if your child is a child that may have that opportunity to play a collegiate sport of any kind, really. I had the pleasure of walking through that process with my daughter from a track and field perspective, but I think it's important that we educate the parents. There's a lot of things that come into the picture when it comes to that. So, from a high level, give us just a couple of minutes of a tidbit of what that looks like, and then we're gonna after we do that, take a quick break after you give us some tidbits, and then we're gonna jump into some one-on-one with Jalen. So tell us a little tidbit of what people can expect in information?
Okay, I'll talk about the recruiting process, because I'm very versed in that. We spend a lot of time with that. We're going to talk about the absentees that you are allotted over your high school career. We're going to talk about some of the things you need to find out from the universities of what they have to offer the kids as far as academic help. And then I'll let Ms. Sanchez kind of talk about the other three areas with what's needed in the transcripts.
So on my end, I'm going to talk a little bit about what NCAA Eligibility Center is and what their purpose is. I want to make sure that the families understand the difference between the approved core courses and the core courses that are accepted just in high school. I want to make sure that parents understand that there are 3 graduation requirements, at least here in the state of Texas. You've got your state requirements, you've got your high school requirements, and then you've got NCAA requirements. So making sure that parents understand that it is not something that starts in their junior, senior year. It's something that starts in 9th grade, and it's a process, and it's a very rigorous process. And our student athletes have to step up, and they are taken to a completely different level. And I think that's the one thing we want parents to understand, is that it is more than just that athlete out on the field or on the court or on the track. It's about that whole child and making sure that they've got everything that they need in order to go to that next level.
Well, awesome. We
Let me
insight.
add one other thing. The process from when that athlete get that offer from that college and what it takes to get enrolled into that university to accept that scholarship. So we want to cover all of that.
Awesome. Yeah, there's a lot of detail behind the scenes that a lot of people don't know, and that's why we want to be able to offer that information. So, Alicia and Ruby, I really appreciate y'all taking a little bit of time out of your evening to join us on the Tanner Report here on Semi-Pro Live, and looking forward to seeing y'all very soon. And going to bring Channing on real quick, and we're going to jump into a quick break, and then we'll jump into our one-on-one with Jalen Jones. So Channing, we're gonna jump into a quick break here, and don't go anywhere, because we're gonna come right back with Jalen Jones, starting cornerback at Texas A&M and from Cibolo Steele High School, and part of a long history with South Texas AAU. We'll be right back after this quick break.
Anything.
We are back. This is Channing Humphrey with Semi-Pro Live with the Tanner Report. Now, Rob, man, just to bring it back in, we've got a very, very special guest. We got the creator of the special guest first. You know, Semi-Pro Live, we're a strong believer of giving the mothers the respect and shine they deserve, but we got to get to the star that she created. So, Rob, do us the pleasure of introducing our next guest.
So, I've known this young man, I think, probably since he was about, maybe I'll say about 8 or 9 years old. And he's done a lot within the South Texas district of the AAU, and now is playing football and going into his 3rd year at Texas A&M University. Without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, a young man that I have a lot of admiration for and his hard work, Jalen Jones.
How y'all doing?
How you doing, brother? How you doing, man?
Doing good, doing good. Can't complain.
So you just finishing up some training and practice sessions and meetings.
Mhm.
Uh, Glad to have you on the show.
Most definitely.
I want to definitely jump in and I want to give kind of a little bit of a background and history, and the best way I know how to do that is, I've got some questions I'd like to ask you and kind of walk through this whole process of where you were and where you are. So, first, tell the viewers and tell everybody about your path through youth sports and AAU. Give us some thoughts and background on that path that you had.
That path it was a journey, just starting off, with track with AAU, and competing in Fort Junior Olympics. It was just always, good to be out there competing because that's what I like to do. And then that going into playing AAU basketball, also playing AAU football. So, it's been a long journey, but a fun journey being in the South Texas AAU district.
So you also had the pleasure of being in our first All-Star game. And I know what the outcome of that game was because I was on the sideline. But what was that experience like? And tell us where you played that game at.
That game will forever be with me. Just it wasn't the outcome we wanted, but it was just fun to be out there. Having all of us at the Dallas Cowboys Stadium. That was big for me because that was the first time I played there, and I played there last season against Arkansas. So I had some memories going back there, but just being out there as a kid, that's something that a lot of kids don't get to do, and it's a great experience. Playing under those lights. So it was fun to be out there, man.
Awesome.
So just to jump in, man, I had a question myself. So tell us, how did you take these lessons, and how did they propel you through the rest of your high school career?
I took these lessons, just knowing how to, be a leader and, follow coaching and things like that and doing things the right way. I got in high school, I didn't really have like a set position of, what position I played. I played quarterback, running back, receiver, linebacker, defensive end, all types of positions growing up. So coming into high school, it was kind of like, I was just an athlete, trying to figure out, what position was best for me. And, when they told me over at Still High School, let's try you out at corner. I never played it before, but I was like, like, okay. I got into the groove of things and I started to, fall in love with the position, taking the craft seriously. So I feel like playing different positions growing up, being at AAU, it kind of, helped me out a lot coming into high school.
Awesome. So now one of those big things for me, and I talked to a lot of kids about it, and I know you and I stood in your parents' kitchen many a time,
Yeah.
that academic development. Tell those young kids out there about that academic development through middle school and high school, and whether good, bad, or indifferent. Tell us a little bit about that academic growth.
Academic growth was, some of my household that, that was, mandatory, like school come first before ball any day. So I struggled a lot coming up, through elementary, middle school, and high school. But, I had people around me that, cared about me, wanted the best for me. So, them helping me, helped me get into the groove of things and academics and things like that. Then when I came over to college, it made things, a lot easier for me, not coming into college blindfolded, not knowing what it was going to be. So.
That's awesome. And I know your parents, and I know that they were, sticklers. And I love to hear the fact that you really embraced what your parents were all about and what their goals were for you.
Mm-hmm.
So that's exciting. And a lot of young athletes, need to hear that, especially considering, like you said, it wasn't an easy road for you. You struggled at certain points. I mean, I remember you struggling in middle school,
Mm-hmm.
and you stuck with it, and that hard work in the classroom. I know that's what helped you get to this next level.
Most definitely.
So tell the viewers about your recruiting process, how that all kind of went. What was some of the things that you did to get to where it was and where you are?
Um, basically just, it was all new to me as soon as like after my sophomore season, my coaches came to me and told me that Baylor and Oklahoma State wanted to offer me, and I was kind of, in shock because, just playing football, especially at the age I was, I was thinking like kind of like, am I good enough for, college football and things like that? You really don't know. So, when they told me that, it kind of, gave me faith in myself that, I could do this and, I'm good enough to do this. So the recruiting process, the way I took it, what school was going to help me get a degree. Like that's what I looked at first in any school, like the academic part of it and how they ran things around there, like within that point. And then it went over to the football part, like okay, development, trust, relationships, and things like that. So that's what really determined the school I went to.
So,
So,
so what was it like
so
your first year at Texas A&M, and how did you deal with the pressures of the responsibility of being on your own, the size and strength of the athletes you were going against, and your new academic responsibilities?
I knew going to college, it was like a big boy step. You leaving away from mama, you know what I'm saying? You leaving away from pops, you leaving away from your people. So basically you gotta come to, realization within yourself, you gotta mature, you gotta take that next step in your life, next chapter in that life, take things seriously, be on time to things, do what you're supposed to do. Those are like the main things, like being accountable within yourself. You shouldn't have people telling you what you need to do. Like you need to do stuff on your own. So that was like a big thing for me coming into college, and then just from the football aspect part, like I said, like ever since I got that first offer, I knew I had like big faith in myself. So it gave me the confidence on the field I needed to do what I'm supposed to do.
Most definitely.
so Jalen, now I want to shift a little bit into kind of talking about the Aggies.
Hmm.
And how do you feel about the Aggies this year? Tell us just your general thoughts on the Aggies for this season in the SEC.
Almost definitely, we got big goals. We're gonna win a national championship this year. That's the final that's the final answer for it. It's too much talent over here. We got the coaching staff on top of that. Like we gonna make it happen this year. So it's gonna be good to see. I can't wait. I can't wait to get back with it myself. So just I've been out there helping them young guys, trying to coach them up. Trying to make this one big brotherhood. That way, when we go out there on the field, everything is so simple. We just get to play football. So I can't wait.
Wow, man, and I find that exciting, because I was kind of my next question was, what's on the roadmap for Jalen Jones in this next season, and you started kind of talking about what Jalen is planning to do. So, tell us a little bit about more what Jalen's feeling for Jalen this year.
A big season for me, but at the same time, do my role, do what I'm supposed to do to help the team out. Because I mean, at the end of the day, you when you do your job, it helps out the whole entire team, so we could accomplish the goal we want to. So everything gonna come, everything gonna come how it's supposed to. So just take every day at a time, keep working, keep my head down like I've been doing, and have that season I'm supposed to. So like I said, I can't wait to get back out there.
Awesome. So, coming up May 14th, it's your first camp, and I'm so happy that you wanted to come back and partner with, a league that you played in the South Texas AAU district that you were part of. So, tell us a little bit about the camp and
Mhm.
also why Killeen.
I can't wait for the camp. I'm super excited to get out there with the kids and things like that. See the kids compete. Help them out, coach them up. Get their craft better. Starting early. That way, when they get older, they got some tools that they know learning from us and things like that. So I can't wait to see that and then go out there and see the 7-on-7 part. See them boys out there compete. I'm all about competing, so I'm gonna get real excited out there. I might be jumping around a little crazy, but I can't wait. But the reason why for Killeen is because it's a military community. It's something I grew up in. I've been around military my entire life, and it's the largest active duty community in the U.S. So I can't wait get out there and see people from Killeen, all over, whoever comes, and really make it, like a family experience, because that's what I want. I want to do it for the kids, but I also want the parents to know that, like, we out there for the kids' best interest. You know what I'm saying? So I can't wait to get out there.
Awesome. So, I'm excited that Jalen, for those who are not aware, for kids that have been participating in the program over the last year and organizations that are registered right now, Jalen is raising money to sponsor 50 athletes, and then the district is going to sponsor 50. So we're excited that we're going to actually sponsor 100 athletes in this camp. The camp is going to get capped at 150, and we've already sent out the notices to the organizations that are eligible for some of those slots. That information went out today. So, Jalen, thank you so much for stepping up on that aspect. That's awesome, brother. Awesome, man. So any other thoughts you have about AAU or A&M, as we close out?
I just appreciate, AAU, because, AAU always been family to me. I mean, you know that, like, just I've been with them since I was 8, 9 years old, and that's really when I got, like, into sports in the U.S. Before that, I was over in Japan and things like that. So that was like my first, start, running track for the first time. AAU basketball, AAU football, and that developed me, not only as a football player, but also, as a person, as a man. So being around that AAU family all my life, it really, helped me out tremendously. And like I said, the Aggies, man, it's gonna be something to see this year.
It's go time, baby.
Yeah, it's gonna be something to see this year, man. We're gonna take over. Everybody see what's going on. So, I just can't wait to see all this talent get on that field and just go. Like just go and get it. So I can't wait.
Well, Jalen, thank you so much for being on the Tanner Report on Semi Pro Live. We're gonna have you back on the show. You can go ahead and pencil it in.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know when. I mean, I'm hoping that it's right after the SEC championship and we get you live.
Oh, yeah.
And then after that, we get you right when y'all win the national championship.
Mm-hmm.
So, Semi Pro Live and the Tanner Report, doing some exclusives. Maybe me and Channing will be right there on the sideline. So we'll see.
Oh, yeah, just let me know. Let me know.
Most definitely, man. And it's nice to have another former athlete who has a chance to get a national championship on a Semi-Pro Live program. So thank you for gracing our small program. I mean, our small network with your great presence, man. And best of luck with your career.
Thank you. I appreciate that, man. Thank you.
All right, that was Jalen Jones, J17 with the Texas A&M Aggies and former standout athlete with the South Texas District of the AAU. We're going to take a break and we'll be right back. Semi-Pro Live, the Tanner Report.
Thank you.
All right, we are back with the Tanner Report, powered by Semi Pro Live. So, Rod, man, due to we'll say a little shuffling, we ended up doing your announcements at the beginning of the show. We'll come back to those to retouch on the very important ones. But I just have a special announcement. Directly, as soon as this stream ends, we're going to be dropping a special highlight for the unrestricted national championship tournament for AAU. So, Rod, before we get into your announcements and wrap up the show, man, tell us a little bit more about this awesome event that's coming to South Texas this January.
Well, yeah, that was the big announcement I wanted to kind of save for right now, and I'm glad we transitioned there. So the unrestricted nationals, it's kind of interesting. I got to look back and see how many years it's been going on. I believe we're in double-digit years of the unrestricted nationals, and at a convention, probably I want to say it was about that would be about 6 years ago. We decided to rotate the unrestricted nationals between Arkansas and Texas. So it was in Arkansas last year, and now it's back in Texas, and we're going to be hosting the unrestricted AAU Nationals in Central Texas the first weekend of December. And I'm excited to say that we are officially partnered to host it with Semi-Pro Live. So it'll be the South Texas District of the AAU and Texas AAU Youth Football. Semi-Pro Live, we're going to be co-hosting the unrestricted AAU Nationals in Central Texas. We'll get the location out as soon as possible. And the unrestricted nationals allows any team to participate as long as all athletes and coaches have a current AAU membership. And you can bring any team that you want and participate in this nationals as long as you have a current AAU membership. And the registration information will go out soon. Texas AAU Youth Football League website will be where you register. That information will also be available on the national AAU website. So really excited about that and partnered with Semi-Pro Live. I think you're probably just as excited as I am, Channing.
Most definitely. This is our first time actually partnering with a company or entity to throw a national championship event. We've been at some national championship events, but it's our chance to partner with AAU, which is a longtime brand that has a reputation of quality and putting on big events that are just unmatched by any other youth sports brand that's out here right now. And on our side, we like to view ourselves as some of the most cutting edge companies that do live streaming. So coming together, I can't see anything but a good mix. But just to touch on that, let's just tell our audience a little bit more. What does it entail becoming an AAU member for a team that may not have competed in the AAU league, but is looking to compete in that unrestricted national championship? What all entail and what qualifications do they need to go through to get a AAU membership, and what all comes with it?
So first and foremost, each athlete will get a membership. That athlete's membership, $16. That actual membership is good for all AAU sports, not just that tournament. So when they get that AAU membership, and the AAU membership year starts in August, so they'll want to get that membership after August 1st if they're not going to be participating in the AAU Football League, which if they're participating in the league, we're allowed to get those prior to August, right in the early part of July. They would get that membership after August, and that membership affords them AAU insurance, medical, dental insurance under the AAU, and as a supplement or primary, depending on their personal insurance. They're also allowed to participate, like I said, in other AAU sports. So once they get that membership, if they're going to participate in basketball or track, swimming, diving, what other sports they may do that are AAU licensed events, they'll be able to participate in those. The coaches all also have to have an AAU membership, which also gets them under the AAU insurance. And also, it's a background check for every coach. The background checks are managed by the national office. We don't do any of that locally. It's a national background check. So the big thing there is we're all about making sure that we've got the right people around the children. So we want to make sure that we do our due diligence in putting the right structure in place. The other dynamic around that is once those memberships are done, then the team can register and put all their kids into the system for the actual championship.
Most definitely. So that is definitely something to look forward to. And if you're a team in North Texas, you're a team anywhere in the country, you're in your league, you're looking for an opportunity for your team to compete in a fine, high quality national championship tournament where your kids are going to have fun, they're going to have a good experience, it's going to be a safe, clean environment, and that if something happens, that your kids will be covered by insurance. You're not just going to be left out there holding the bag. You need to strongly consider AAU and this AAU unrestricted national, man. But Outside of that, man, before we let you guys go and enjoy the national championship game that's going on right now, is there any more announcements that our fans at home need to be on the lookout for?
The AAU football season will be kicking off in August, but we're still doing registration of organizations right now. And if an organization is interested in participating, they'll need to email txaauYFL@gmail.com, and our executive committee will reach out to them and talk with them and see if there is a fit for the organization, as well as if AAU is a fit for them. And then we're excited because the league-based nationals is in Florida the second week, and you have to qualify out of an AAU league to get to Florida. And then the West Coast Nationals, that's January, MLK weekend in Las Vegas. You have to participate in an AAU league to go to that tournament. And excited because I'm the co-director of the West Coast Nationals. And we had it this last year. Normally it had been in California, but we moved it to Vegas. So I'm excited about going back to Vegas for that tournament. A
Me
lot
too.
of things
I'm
going on.
excited to be there.
Yeah, a lot of things going on. And, definitely visit the AAU National website. That's aausportswithans.org for more information about other competitions. Our cheer program, a lot going on there. Multiple competitions coming up from the cheer side, not only just in the area that I govern, but across the nation. Cheer competitions up in Virginia, in Arizona, California, Florida, Texas, of course. So a lot going on with our cheer on the competitive level and on the football cheer level, which is considered more recreational. So a lot of opportunities across the board. And of course, like I said, I'm a big track and field, guy. A lot of track and field kicking off.
Well, a lot of stuff on the horizon. As you said, there are literally hundreds of different sports covered underneath the AAU banner. Regardless of what sport you choose, it's going to be some of the top events, some of the top athletes, and just some of the best environment that you could put your kids or young athlete in. But I think that'll wrap it up for us. Rod, do you have anything else to add before we sign out?
Nothing more to add. Just thanks for tuning in to the Tanner Report, powered by AAU and hosted on Semi Pro Live.
We'll see you guys next time. And as always, surf or swim.